And the state seems to be set for yet another face-off between the state and the probed hijab groups in Karnataka. This time, the flashpoint is the demand of PU2 students, that the Karnataka equivalent of Class 12, who in fact boycotted the practical exams held in February and March to reconduct the test. Some students boycotted the practical exams to oppose the restriction on wearing hijab inside class. Others skipped in solidarity with the protesters. Remember, viewers, this out of their own will. Now, as they seek special treatment, the Karnataka government has refused to relent, making it clear that no exemption will be made for these students, as they willingly chose to skip exams and violate the interim verdict of the High Court while doing so. Now, the very same people who instigated the unrest in the first place are once again threatening protests if special treatment is not accorded to the protesters. The question is, how long will disruptive forces indulge those who chose to defy authorities time and again?
Whoever is absent for the final exams, no exams will be conducted for them. Whether the reason may be different, whether it is maybe because of hijab, maybe because that he did not prepare for his examination, maybe he may be feared of examination, but no alternative exams will be done for that. And clearly, High Court has given its final verdict saying that students should follow the uniform code, and that is what government is going to do.
It is a fundamental belief that every student should be given access to free and fair education. So in that direction, I think whichever student has missed an opportunity to write an exam, for whatever reasons, on a humanitarian grounds, and as a society which is progressive, we should try to be as inclusive as possible. And in that direction, I think we should give any child who's missed an opportunity to write an exam an opportunity to take it up.
ಆದರೆ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೂ ನಾವು ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಹಾಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗೆಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದವ್ರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಉದ್ದ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಮಾಡೋ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವಾಗ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್? ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಒಂದ್ ದಿವಸ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಲೇನೋ ನಾನು ಹಿಜಾಬ್ ಇಲ್ದಲೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಬರೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
All right, let's go across to our guest. Gopal Agarwal is with us. He's the national spokesperson of the BJP. With us also is Syed Aslam, spokesperson of the JDS. I'm going to begin with you first, Mr. Syed Aslam. And let me begin by asking you, here are students, and the government is saying this. You just heard what Mr. Madhavdas said on the floor of the House, that these are students who very well knew the consequences of skipping the examination and yet very consciously decided not to go into the classroom. So this is something that they are saying they will not allow to continue, because this will otherwise also set a very wrong precedent. Your response to that?
Well, Madhav, today it is very clear, and the BJP has proved it to the entire world, that Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao is a fake slogan which they have, right? If they're absolutely keen on women education, if they're keen on empowering the Muslim women, they definitely need to allow these kids to write exams. Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao is an absolutely a fake slogan which is given by the BJP government. Let me tell you, by record, the Muslim women literacy in India is 51.9 versus the women literacy average in India, which is at 65.9%. If the Prime Minister is talking about Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, these kids definitely need to be allowed. We had a very difficult situation in Karnataka. When the matter was sub judice, these girls have not appeared for the exams. Now it is the responsibility of the government to ensure that they should be allowed to write exams. Okay. It is their fundamental right. The BJP cannot take away the fundamental right of these girls. The only thing which BJP is promoting today is hatred. Hatred amongst the two communities.
Let me put that question across to the BJP. In fact, Gopal Agarwal, why not allow these girls a chance at education? Yes, it is a fact that they may have, skipped the exams, but that was at a time when the protests were taking place. That's the argument coming in from the JDS spokesperson. Please respond to him.
Madhav, we should understand, are our universities for meeting the political ends of certain vested interest politicians?
So,
are they for making a good citizen, good person, imparting education? The whole episode of this hijab controversy was a political controversy created by PFI and CFI, their college Front of India. They use them for their meeting their political end. Now it is for them to answer why they have done this to the students. The thing is, when the court, High Court, they went to the court, High Court said that you should participate and this is not allowed. The rules, the colleges had done in their own rules, and it is not only those who have not given the exam for hijab. There are other reasons also. As the education minister said, there can be multiple reasons. So educational institutions have to follow certain discipline also.
Okay.
They have to also look into the personality development. Are we going to create communal situations into the educational institutions?
Okay, there's a sense of discipline that has to be in place in educational institutions. That's the point being made by the BJP spokesperson. But Syed Aslam Pasha, the question that is being referred to over here, and the specific comment I saw of the minister, is that he's saying when the interim order of the High Court came out, even despite that, they chose to boycott their classes. And that is why they say that at least that interim order should have been adhered to in letter and spirit by the students. Why didn't they do that is a question they're asking.
Well, Madhav, no doubt the interim order had to be agreed and they had to follow that. But you understand the situation, how it was. The situation was very tensed. The situation was very, very tense from years, from decades. The girls were having. Now, can I finish it, sir? Can I finish it? Gopal, sir, can I finish it now? Thank you. Can I finish it? You please answer it when you get your time.
We have time.
Right.
Okay,
So,
Mr.
Madhav,
Agarwal, let him make his point. I'm coming to you after this. Yes.
Yeah, the situation was absolutely tense. Yes, the interim order had to be followed. There's no doubt about it. But having said that, looking at the situation now, the High Court order has come out. The High Court verdict has come out. The girls should be given a chance. It is their fundamental right to give the exams. If BJP really thinks, the BJP government really thinks that they need to empower the Muslim women, if they want to help the Muslim women, which always the Prime Minister talks about, Beti Padhao and Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, they should be given a chance. Today, now let me, Madhav, just 30 more seconds. Now today, it has become a norm for the BJP to create the communal hatred in one form or the other.
One second.
Today,
Mr. Aslam Pasha, your point, in fact, that question I'm taking across to Gopal Agarwal, but it can't be anybody's case that, student politics does not take place. There is a student wing of the RSS also, which is affiliated with the BJP, and many BJP leaders are from the ABVP. So can it be anybody's case that there can be no political activism at all in our campuses?
No, there can be political activism. We have students union. The thing is, I will ask Mr. Pasha, when the interim order came, when the agitation was taking place, did he take the same concern and told them as the students that participate in the education, participate in the exams, and see if later on whatever the court decide finally they can do as per the court decision. Now he is giving lectures, now he is giving sermon. What did they do at that point of time? They were instigating them. They were asking and promoting them to go against, and everything now is saying that it's a fundamental right. Who will decide? Mr. Pasha will decide what is the fundamental right of the citizens, or the courts will decide. So everything they call, it is our fundamental right. There are fundamental rights which are well defined. Will the country run by the constitution, by the rule of the law, or whims and fancy of Pasha and his colleagues?
Okay, I think that is a fair question to ask. Mr. Pasha, that's a fair question to ask. Will the country run by rule of law, or will the country run by whims and fancies of political leaders?
Well, absolutely. We are bound by the Constitution of India. We are bound by the judicial system. We've got a beautiful constitution. Sir, can I please allow...
Gopal Agarwal, let him speak, sir. There is time. Mr. Agarwal, there is enough time. You have asked a question. Listen to the response, please. I'm coming back to you. You can respond to him after that.
Like I said, we are bound by the beautiful Constitution of India. We are the biggest and the largest democracy, functional democracy of the world, right? And we are bound by the judicial system. Having said that, today the BJP is in a punishment mode. BJP is in a mode of punishment for these girls. Yes, there was an issue. The matter was sub judice. Till the court had not given the verdict, these girls have not attended the exams. But is it not their fundamental right to write the exams now? Why are they being punished? Now, every time we speak about fundamental rights or we speak about women education, Madhav, they speak about
Sir,
PFI.
sir, if
We
a court
are
order
least
is violated,
bothered about PFI.
if a
We are
court
least
order is
bothered about
violated,
PFI.
if
No,
a court
no,
order is
listen,
violated, then
give
what
me-
is can the government really be faulted? My simple question to you is
No,
this:
but see,
that
there is-
are you
the
now
government
going
has
to
to be
approach the court?
considerate.
Simple question,
The
sir. Are you
government
now
has
going to
to be-
approach the court again? Are
Of
these
course we
students
will.
or these
Of course,
organizations
no,
going to
of
approach the
course
court
we
again?
will.
Are we looking at another legal battle?
Of course, yes, we are bound by the constitution and the judicial system. Yes, the constitution has given us the right to go to the apex court. Yes, the matter will be heard in the apex court. Now, the question here is, will you not be considerate for these girls? Will you not allow them to write the exams? Are you not playing with the future of these kids? Are you not playing with the future of these kids?
You made this point. You made this point,
Are you
sir.
in a mode of punishment? Are you in a mode of punishment?
You're punishing these students.
These are the
All
kids
right,
who are
one
the
second,
future
one
of
second.
India.
Gopal Agarwal, direct allegation. You are punishing these students for their activism. Please respond to Mr. Syed Aslam Pasha.
Nobody is punishing the students for their activism. They have to understand that the personality of citizens are well within development if they get the habit of following rules and they
What is
have
habit?
the establishment. The thing
What is habit, sir?
Have you answered? Have you answered where is the violation of fundamental right? Who will decide what is fundamental right? Are you going to decide? Mr. Pasha will decide about the fundamental rights of the courts. So
Every citizen of India will decide.
So Mr.
Every
Pasha,
citizen of India will decide.
No.
The constitution has given equal right to all the citizens. There can be no discrimination on basis of no discrimination on basis of religion, race, caste and creed.
No, Mr. Pasha, now you just answer one question.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Pasha, let Gopal Agarwal make his point now. Now you're interrupting him. Please let him make his point. Gopal Agarwal.
One question only to Mr. Pasha. Did he at any point of time tell these students that you wait for the final verdict of the court, till that time follow the interim order of the court? Did he give this wise advice to these students? They were instigating them. And now they are talking about fundamental rights. And if they don't know, even Mr. Pasha doesn't know what is fundamental right.
Okay.
Fundamental rights are to be decided by the courts and the constitution. Nobody as an individual, neither myself or Mr. Pasha, can decide what is fundamental right. So the thing is, we have to look into the larger issues of the students. We have to look into the larger issues of the whole country's narration. These are being violated. These are.
What is larger issue, sir? The future of these kids is not larger issue for you. The future of these kids is not larger issue for you. The education of these kids is not larger issue for you.
So
the education of these kids is not larger issue for you. The future of these kids is not larger issue for you. The government is behaving stubborn. The government is absolutely becoming adamant here.
Mr. Pasha, did you show the same concern about their future during and ask them to follow the interim order? Did any?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely
when
yes.
Did you?
Education is most important for any civil society, for any society to be prosperous, for any country to be progressive. Education is most important. Your polarization will not help anymore, sir. Your polarization will not help anymore. India can become a progressive country only with education. Your majoritarian polarization will not help. You are dividing people on basis of religion. You are dividing people on basis of practices. You cannot do that. Today, what India needs is education. What India needs is equality. Today, what needs is women empowerment. You're going against that. These are the tenets of growing and progressive nation. These are the tenets of growing and progressive nation. Do not try to punish the young students.
All right,
Basis your ideology. Basis your ideology. All right. The students.
Very heated debate indeed. In fact, the government says that it has a legal precedent in the form of the interim order, which these students did not follow, and that's why it has decided to turn down their request for re-examination. On the other hand, you have the opposition party saying that these students should be given yet another chance. The BJP, of course, saying that discipline is what is utmost in a religious institution. We'll have to leave this debate here for the moment. We'll have to see, of course, what further action these students take. They have approached the courts. They've knocked on the doors of courts in the past. Are they going to do that in this particular case as well? That's what we'll have to watch out for. Syed Aslam Pasha and Gopal Agarwal, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us this evening.